Hello, I'm Gayatri, and today we're going to do a meditation on coming to a place of peace where we release violence. So there is a lot of violence in this world. There's violence against ourselves that we do against ourselves. And that can be mental violence, emotional, physical, where we hurt ourselves. Then there's violence to others and violence from others to you. And then there's violence when literally big groups of people are violent with one another. So their war, it could be a smaller group, fractions, etc. But there's a lot of it. And it impacts us, all of us. Whether we take part in it or not, it still hurts us all. So even if you're a very peaceful person, the violence that is around, you can feel that pain and suffering, even if you're not in the immediate vicinity of it. Just watching images can be harmful, hurtful, depressing. So releasing, transmuting, uplifting, shifting, bringing more peace, more love, more light, high frequencies to ourselves and to others, to assist others who are stuck and they don't want to be stuck anymore. So when people are ready and they want to change or they want to discover new ways of being, they look to people who are already there. And that's where we can help. But we first have to look after ourselves and our own vibration and ensure that we're not doing harm to ourselves. And then we're not harming others. And that if someone else is trying to harm us, what to do, how to get out of that, how to stop that, transmute it. And if even possible, the person who's trying to do that to you, to show them another way. And that we don't react at the same level they're at with violence against them. It's not always possible, but we do our best. So this is my topic that came to me today. So when I asked, what is today's meditation? This is what came. And this is what I'd like to share. So it doesn't matter at what level you are at, whether you've meditated before or this is your first time. This is a guided meditation, so there will be relatively a lot of speaking. So if you used a lot of silence, then feel free to pause this video at any time. So if something is said and you feel that you want to go deeply within that for a long period of time, whatever long is to you, it could be 1 minute as long for one person, and somebody else will want to take that deeply in for 20 minutes. Feel free to have the ability just to hit pause and go to that depth. And you may want to finish your meditation there, or then you may want to come back and keep the recording going. You're in control. Everything is your choice. Whatever is helpful, please take it. Anything that is unhelpful that is said on this video, if I say something and you're like, that's not where I want to go, or that doesn't feel right for me right now in this moment, then just discard it. There is no wrong or right in that respect. It's whatever's right for you. So please get yourself comfortable, whether that's sitting, lying down. Also, you may be outside, you may be walking, it may be a walking meditation. And then when you get into a nice comfy position, start to relax your body. The best way is often to take deep breaths in through the nose. And it can either be out through the mouth or the nose. The out breath just takes care of itself. Nice deep breaths in and really letting go on the out breath. The in breath is a good place to take the breath to a space that may be tight, so you breathe into the shoulder. And then the out breath, just letting go of the focus and just relaxing. Could be the whole body where you breathe in, filling the whole body with the breath and letting go. If doing a strong, deep in-breath is too stressful for you, for any reason whatsoever, it could be you have a cold, you can't breathe deep, then don't. Just relax, using the mind, just letting go, feeling your body just being supported. You can tell your body it's nothing to do now. So if you're lying down, you're fully supported by the floor below, or the bed, whatever you're lying on. If you're sitting, allow the chair to take your weight and your feet relaxed on the floor, or if you're sat cross-legged, your whole body is taken by the weight of the chair. And let go of the breath unless you feel you need to do more. And just noticing, bringing awareness to yourself, coming inward, bringing your senses in, noticing. Take action if you feel that there's something you need, some discomfort, then you can take a breath or quieten it with your mind. But otherwise, just observe. And the more you do this, the greater the observation, the more subtle you become. And you'll be able to work with subtle energies. And you become the alchemist, able to refine your practice, each time refining. And today we're going to look at ourselves. What is it that maybe, if anything, where we are harsh, cruel, unkind, violent to ourselves? It might be we do physical actions which hurt ourselves. We push ourselves too much. And the body is aching and hurting because we've overdone it. And we've been harsh. We may push ourselves too much because of so many different beliefs. It could be we are emotionally beating ourselves up. The unworthiness. We believe maybe what we were taught as a child, that we're not worthy, not good enough, never will be. Look at the words that you speak to yourself. And when you tell others about yourself, how do you describe yourself? Do you use harsh words, harsh labels, unkind? Do you make jokes about yourself, put yourself down? Are you sarcastic? Are you cruel? Noticing, without judgment. Easier said than done. Do your best. You can even see yourself as your higher self looking at you and just saying, oh, these are the things we've come here to soften, to let go of, to change, to surrender, so we can bring in kindness, love, gentleness. Allow a softening to come in. And with the softening, there's gentle opening to a new way of being. This brings healing on all levels. I invite you to pick one thing to work on now. Just have an aeroplane going over. Do I just allow for a bit more peace to come into the space where I'm sitting? So I invite you to pick one thing, whether it's something you do physically, emotionally, whatever it is, where you feel you no longer want this in your life. And I want you to feel that one thing. Really look at it. See how it is in your life. How often do you do it? Where does it crop up? Does it happen all the time, or is it only maybe when things are going maybe wrong? And it's an old saying that you just dredge up when you're not feeling too good. So often we're punished as children. And we continue when we grow as adults. We may no longer live at home, but the punishment that others put on us, we then self-internalize, and then we punish ourselves. And we keep the punishment going because we think we deserve it. We were taught that we deserved punishment. And we agreed with that on some level. And so we continue, whether in the same way, as in speaking badly about ourselves, or maybe slightly differently. Maybe going to the gym, and rather than just working, to 70%, where you're not going to injure yourself and you're safe, you push yourself all the time. You end up getting injured regularly. Or you just put your body through torture unnecessarily. If you're going to the gym and you're pushing yourself too hard, it may look externally like, oh, wow, this person's really going for it. Look at what they're creating, and that you're applauded. But actually, you're doing it not for the right reasons. You're not doing it to be fit and healthy and vibrant and at your best. Maybe because you have to prove yourself, because you don't feel the worth that you actually are good enough. So you'll push and push and push and push. So look at your motivations. Take a breath, relax. And when you've picked your item, and if you haven't yet, pause the recording and come back to it. Or you might want to write a whole big list and then choose one. Just number them. What's the thing that hurts you most? And pick that one. Or if you feel that's too difficult, pick the one that you on the low, the lowest on the list. And go, okay, I'll choose one that's really easy. And then if I can get rid of that, then it will be easy to do the next and the next, until the really ones that I struggle with the hardest, I can let go of those. Perfectionism can make you want to do things in a way that actually don't help you but hinder you. And you can be too harsh, too critical, cruel even. If it's not perfect, it's not good enough. And some things it's impossible to be perfect at, because that's not the human experience. Now I want you to start feeling into the one that you picked. I'm going to use an example to make it easier. I must always be on time or early. Otherwise I have failed. Otherwise people will think I'm tardy, or I'm not trustworthy. I must push myself to always be on time, so I don't enjoy my journey, until I've arrived, because at any moment I could be delayed. I'm stressed out trying to race around so I'm on time. I'm actually quite cruel to people who may be delaying me or get in my way of being on time. Nothing else matters. I don't enjoy myself because I have to be there on time. All it is stress, this need to be on time. I push it too far. I cannot relax. I don't know what it is to be organized and relaxed and do my best to be on time. And be okay if something gets in the way and I am delayed. I can be easy on myself. I can be in that space of ease. I am good enough. And feel what it's like when you're harsh. So this example of this incredible desire to be on time, because it's crippling you. It becomes overly important. It takes up too much of your energy and focus. Whatever it is, go there now. See how it can be cruel, crippling, even violent. How unnecessary it is. Really feel into it now. Notice, how does it feel? I'm going to be late. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be late. How does it feel in your body? What are the emotions? Let them rise. Feel them fully. So if I go into this feeling for myself, I feel anxious. My body is tenser. I'm feeling stressed. I'm going to be late, and it's not okay to be late. I was taught, don't be late, be early. I start to feel sick to my stomach. There's a visceral response to the emotion. By holding on to this notion that you cannot be late, and for any reason, it's too extreme, it's too harsh, it's cruel. Doesn't mean you're supposed to be late. It doesn't mean you don't do your best to be on time, but that you have to be, you must. It's an impossible standard. There's too many other factors that can cause delay that is out of your control. And it means you have to start controlling things, but you can't, because they're outside of you. Feel it, feel the stress, feel the anger, feel the rage, feel the sadness, feel the disappointment, feel the emotions, whatever you are picking. Whether it's an action or a belief, how they interlink, because the action comes from belief. This desire to go to the body and go to the gym and push your body to an extreme. And you're always striving for a body that you can never actually achieve. It's not how the body works. And then keep feeling and keep going down through the emotions. And eventually it starts to ease. So when you feel the emotion, it will shift. Emotion, you put it into motion. You're feeling it. It shifts, it moves. And then you drop to the next one. And you feel the next level of emotion. It's like a layer cake. It shifts and moves. If you need more time, feel free to pause this recording. And then I felt the anxiousness, the stress, the overwhelming horror at the idea of being late. And even speaking, it sounds ridiculous. Being late is so bad for some people. If you're taught that this is how out of proportion it is, but it's your truth currently. It's not a universal truth, it's your truth. You were taught. So you feel all the emotions and then you shift down and you get to the bottom of all of this. What's underneath? Peace, calm, silence, bliss. And when you're at that point, we'll do the next step. If you need more time, please pause the recording. And now see the picture of yourself, that person rushing to be on time, the constant need to run to the gym and do all these exercises and push, 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 and your body becomes quite extreme. See and feel now that that is unnecessary. It's not who you want to be. You don't want to feel that way. You want to choose a different way. And you see it like a picture and you let it go. And it drifts out in front of you, going further and further and further away. And eventually it just becomes a dot in the distance and it disappears. Notice how you feel without this. And you have a choice here. You can either bring a new way into being, or you can just be. So, when I have to be somewhere at a certain time, how do I choose to be? I choose to be organized to the best of my ability. If I'm given notice that I have to be at a certain place at a certain time, then I will organize myself so I leave in time, in a reasonable amount of time to get to the location. I do my research if I need to, if it's new. Or if it's a place I've been before, I will have experience of how long it takes and how best to get there in the most reasonable amount of time. And I set myself up to succeed. And I can enjoy my journey. We now have amazing technology. So if you are running late, the most likelihood is that you have a phone and you can send a text, make a phone call, and just say, there's no buses. So I'm walking. I'm going to be later than planned. But you can enjoy your journey. And you arrive. And most of the time you'll be on time. In a nice way. In a relaxed way. In a kind way. You can maybe now choose to go to the gym, to be healthy, to feel good, to be energized, to work with your body in harmony, and that you are worthy, you are already good enough. Just your existence means you have worth. You have nothing to prove. But you can enjoy going to the gym. You can enjoy the results of working in the gym, doing those exercises. You can enjoy it. You can enjoy the journey of getting healthier and fitter, whatever your goals are. You can be kind to yourself. And when you have time to rest, really enjoy and go deep into that relaxation. And know that you fully deserve it. Drop maybe calling yourself names, saying things which are unkind to yourself, and replacing them with something nicer. If you feel that you've let yourself down, you can go, I did my best. I've learned what's happened and I'll move forward from here. I take responsibility. I choose love, loving kindness. I love myself. I choose to be kind to myself. Notice how your body feels. Is it more relaxed or energized? Are you sleepy, wide awake? Just notice, no judgment. Are you still feeling anxious? Have you felt like you haven't quite got through this meditation and got to a place of surrender? Or not able to yet replace the harmful way with something nicer and gentler and kinder? That's okay. This is part of the journey, is to be okay with not getting through things the first time. And learning takes practice. You don't need to be good at this at the first time. Back to the perfectionism. You don't have to be great at everything. In fact, certain things that you may never be any good at. And that's okay. You don't have time to be great at everything. Choose the things you're interested in, things that give you passion. Your passion is ignited. Choose those, practice those, get good at those, enjoy them. Follow your passion. The first time you go surfing, you're not going to be very good. It's just not possible. But if you keep going, eventually you'll be able to stand up long enough to catch a wave. With surfing, you always come back into the water and start again. And each wave is an opportunity to enjoy. And it's different every time. Give yourself permission to be okay with whatever the outcome is, to drop expectation. You're running late. Well, you're just running late. Enjoy the journey regardless. There's nothing you can do if you're already late. Drop the expectation that the person on the other end that you're meeting is going to be angry with you or upset or will judge you harshly. You don't know. Maybe they're running late too and you meet perfectly. How many times has that happened? Or you get there and they're late, even later than you. In the big scheme of the world, does it matter? What is important? Can you be kind? I love this, where people ask the question to themselves when something happens. What would kindness do in this situation? And apply that to yourself as well as to others, as well as to the world. What would kindness do? And you just tune into the frequency of kindness. Kindness is gentle, loving, open, expressive, communicative, caring. Be kind to yourself. And the more you are kind to yourself, the easier it becomes to be kind to others, to bring compassion. If someone is hurting you, whether with their words or with their actions, how can you stop that? How can you get out of it without having to harm them? Now, there's certain cases where you have to defend yourself 100%. Protect yourself, protect maybe other people as well. But there's plenty of times if someone is being cruel and unkind, you have options. Children generally don't have options, but adults do. So if you are in a position where you have an option, other than being violent back, take it. Change the pattern. The first is leave. Get out of that space, that place, that person's environment or your environment, but they're there. Leave. If you're able to take that option, that is the best, quickest way. Get out of harm's way. And then you can work on solutions. And then you don't have to take any physical action against this person, or scream or shout, anything that is really depleting and harmful for yourself. And is also harming the other, even though they're attacking you. Create a place of safety in yourself. So you are grounded. So if something happens, you can be practical and think and move. Learning a martial art is very useful because it teaches you how to move, how to get away, and defend if necessary. You may feel that you might freeze, you don't know what to do. So becoming safe in yourself, to be grounded, so you may be able to think. Go, okay, there's a door. Let me get to that door, get out of the place. Move to safety. See yourself doing that right now if this is something that impacts your life. See yourself with the awareness that you can leave. If you live with a partner who is violent, and for whatever reason you can't live out of their space right now, how can you be in a space where you always know where the door is that you can leave and get out and be safe? If someone is being abusive with their words and saying horrible things. How that you can see that these words are their words. And it's all about them. And actually those words do not need to be taken by you. That those words don't even reach you. That they are meaningless because they are not true. You can see them maybe like a cartoon and the words coming out of their mouth. And you can look at them and go, well, that's not me. And the words just drop to the floor. Or they may explode. Poof. Or they fly off in another direction. Use your imagination. Make it funny. Because it's a joke. It's not true. And you can see, you can start to have compassion. A person who's violent with their words, well, generally people have been violent towards them with their words. They've been shouted and screamed at as children, perhaps. And they don't know how to communicate gently and peacefully and lovingly because they were never taught. So they're stuck in the loop. And you can forgive them. And when those words don't take any effect because you don't allow it to, because they're not about you, generally what happens is they either walk away in a big huff because they're not getting the reaction they want, or they may even turn violent with physical violence. But most people, if it's just words, they'll leave it at that. And they'll run out of steam eventually. And when they see they're not having an effect, they don't really know what to do. And when they've calmed down and there's some space, you may try talking to them and helping them and setting boundaries. See that. If there's somebody in your life that you can't move away from for any reason, then you have to change. And if you change, they will change, because the way they are acting towards you doesn't make any impact. Those words that are violent, cruel, nasty, they have no impact. So after some time, they'll stop using that method on you to control you, or for them to feel better about themselves by making someone feel worse. Whatever their motivation. They may go the other way and try the silent treatment on you. Or they may be ready to listen. And they may be desperate to change. All their anger and frustration, they don't want to be that way, but they don't know how to be different. And if you show them it's possible to change, it's possible to be peaceful, it's possible to communicate in a loving way, that massive transformation is possible. It happens all the time. And you know because you've done it yourself. You are a living example. the more peace, gentleness, kindness, compassion, forgiveness for yourself, the more you can bring it to others, and that ripples out into the world. So less and less people feel that the wars are justified. Feel the less and less people who support war means the chances are less. And it comes to a point where there is no more, but people are able to talk through disagreements, disputes. Everything becomes transparent, no hidden agendas. And that we're able to rise together in love, light, harmony, truth. That we create spaciousness in ourselves. And this spaciousness allows more peace, calm, gentleness, but also a sense of groundedness, of the ability to be patient, the ability to see all sides of things, to drop opinions and see truth. Not personal truth, but universal truth. There is a difference. If you choose, you can pause and dwell in this depth for as long as you want. Remember, you can do this meditation as many times as you choose. And you're refining every time and bringing more peace until you are just peaceful. It's a process, it's a practice, it's a journey, one to be enjoyed. Just doing your best to bring more in, more of the good stuff. Knowing that you are worthy of it. Everybody is worthy of it. Everybody has worth. And we can all support each other in bringing in peace for all beings. The mantra, Om Sarvaloka Samasta Sukhanu Bhavantu. May all beings in all the worlds be at peace and happy. Om Sarvaloka Samasta Sukhanu Bhavantu. Om Sarvaloka Samasta Sukhanu Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. And if you're ready to come out of this meditation, gently start to allow yourself to connect outwardly, to bring your senses out into the world. Blink your eyes, have a stretch, yawn, come back if you choose, if you're ready. And I always suggest, this is a theta healing technique, to disconnect and to come back fully as you rub your hands together, palms facing, then you pause, flip them back to back, front, back, and then zip up your aura. So you've disconnected and then you zipped yourself up so that you're ready to continue. I hope you have enjoyed and you feel more at peace, more still, and that you put this into practice every time you catch yourself, whether it's a belief, whether you're speaking it, whether it's a physical action you're taking that is not kind to yourself or maybe another. Pause, assess. Are you ready to drop it and bring in the kindness, the compassion and the love? Just do your best. Blessings. And thank you for being with me.